favorite sound design. What did I put? Okay, now this one, I'll go first because this one I think. What about for you guys? Was this a harder choice or did you know right out of the gate?
I knew immediately.
Okay, I know what Co's is then. Zeke, Zeke, for you, did you know right out of the gate?
I had to think about it a little bit. I did. I had to go like, oh man, there's so many games with such great sound design. But what's the sound design that I remember and enjoyed? So yeah, it took me a minute.
Got it. For me, it was what game like transported me immediately to the vibe that the game was trying to give. And I didn't finish this game, but I remember one, absolutely loving the like songs that are in it, but two, and that's not sound design, but two, when you're just like playing the game, everything else stops and you're just like stuck and immediately transported into that world. I need to go back and finish it, but Pacific Drive had fantastic
Good tip.
sound design. You get out in that world and it gets a little weird. It gets a little strange.
Good. That's a good one. That was on my list to consider, actually.
Yeah, it's very good. It's very good. Yeah. That's mine, Zeke. What's yours? I think I know it now. I have to read the chat, but yeah, go ahead.
Take a guess.
I'm gonna go with Silent Hill 2.
It's definitely up there, man.
Okay.
It really is. Like all the horror, like a good horror game means good sound design. It has to. Like it's part of. It goes hand in hand with a good horror game.
Yeah.
And I was like, I actually typed out Silent Hill 2. I'm like, it's got to be Silent Hill 2. And then I sat there and I thought about it and I went through all my games that I had played, which is over like fucking 300 this year.
You play a lot.
And I was like, oh shit, it's not. Because what is the game that had the most, like, I looked forward to the noises and sounds and how satisfying they were. My favorite sound design choice, Balatro.
Oh, really?
Oh, I'm not kidding.
I'm so glad I didn't say that as a joke like 2 seconds before you said that.
No. I am not fucking kidding. That's the sound design of that game was probably 30% of why I kept playing it. Because it's like, broop, 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 broop. Everything's so satisfying. Gambler. I'm a gambler.
Yeah.
Those sounds are ingrained in my brain. And I'm like, oh, it's making the nice sound. Broop, bleep, broop, bop, bleep, brop, beep-a-doop, boop, bap. And I'm not kidding. Like, I was like, Silent Hill 2 has great sound design. It is atmospheric. It's eerie. But that shit is me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely my choice. And it was a tough one. But I had to go with, like, what stuck with me and what sounds in a game that I look forward to hearing.
It makes sense. I mean, if anything, it just sounds like a gambling hall when you hear Balatro. Code.
Yeah.
Favorite sound design.
Mine came down to 2. And but of course I had to pick one. So the one I ended up not picking was Space Marine 2. And the reason being is because they did such a phenomenal job at making the footsteps, the sounds of the weapons, the sounds of the enemies, the sounds of the carnage. Like that is a game you could live in. And I think you said it best. It's one of those games where like the second you start fighting, the second you start hearing like the as you're like just moving forward, you immediately get sucked in. You get immersed in that world, which was great. But another game did it better.
Yeah.
And this game not only nailed like all of the sounds, but had some of the best environmental sound work I have ever heard in a video game, and that is Stalker 2. It was the immersive elements of Stalker 2. You're going to hear a theme this show. The immersive elements of Stalker 2 are second to none. In terms of like the way that they introduce sound to you, the way that it's used in the game. You know, there was this one specific sound of tripping a grenade on a trap, and you just like it became like this triggering sound to like, oh man, it was amazing. So yeah, Stalker 2 nailed it. That was one of the best parts, was the sound work, and especially like during storms and running around during storms, like just amazing.
Yeah, and the brief amount of time that I played it, it was very evocative and very much transported you to that world. So I could totally see that. Totally makes a lot of sense for me. I don't, what, community-wise, what do you guys think? This one?
Astrobot.
Silent Hill.
I think
say.
Silent
maybe,
Hill.
you know what? Silent Hill would be a good one.
Silent Hill
Yeah.
probably took it. I could maybe see Astrobot. I don't think Metaphor would take sound design. I don't think Helldivers would take it.
Maybe Final? No.
No.
No. Let's see. I'm interested now.
It's got to be Silent Hill. Nope, it was Astrobot.
Oh,
Okay. I mean,
I
Nice.
totally see that. Totally see that.
yeah. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So, Barry with some very interesting statistics here. Astrobot won by 20 votes at 11% over Silent Hill 2 and Senua Saga's Hellblade 2.
Hellblade, yeah.
yeah.
Silent
Hellblade
Hill 2 and Senua Saga's Hellblade 2 had 1 vote between one another on the overall
Get him, chat.
category.
Man, I feel bad. I didn't even play that game.
For Senua 2? Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of came out and
Came out at a weird
No,
time.
it-
And,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I considered it. It was definitely on my list of like sound design choices. It was too much for me.
You know, it's kind of funny. That is one of the reasons I didn't play it. Was because when I played the first one, by the end of the first one, I was kind of tired of the gimmick.
Mm.
I was reminding myself like about the second one, like, do I want to do like 5 hours of that again? And I kept telling myself like, not really. Like it's cool, but I wouldn't say like it's super enjoyable, if that makes sense. Like I don't know. It's not a super attractive thing for me personally, the way they do it. It's super fun and interesting, but it's a little weird.
Yep.